How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to be doing a part 2 of the Shimano's Overrated and Overpriced. And the reason why I am doing this video is because another YouTube channel by the names of Aggressively Average Anglers posted on their Instagram they asked a question of, is this the best value reel? And they were talking about the Shimano Stradic. And that immediately got my attention. I immediately went, what about this $200 reel is such a value? And it's nothing against the Aggressively Average Anglers. I love their channel. They're two great guys. Paul and Jeff they make amazing content. So I'm not saying anything against them. And Paul, I apologize. I didn't know you bought the reel. So if you watch this video, I apologize. I left a comment saying it was overrated. I didn't know you bought it at that time. So I apologize. That's my bad. I never want to put down anything anyone buys and like trying to make them feel bad for spending money on something that they like. That was not my intention. I apologize, okay? So anyway, let's move on to what the actual video is. So when I saw that post, it made me wonder, what about this reel has people going crazy over it? Because if you look on YouTube, the iCast videos, because iCast just occurred, it's a new 2023 Shimano Stradic, and everyone's freaking out because they moved Infinity Drive and Infinity Cross down to the Shimano Stradic. Those are usually on the $400 Stella. So immediately you go, oh, that's great features to be put into a $200 reel. That's what they're talking about. So I did a lot of research to figure out what is Infinity Drive and Infinity Cross. And I came to not the greatest of conclusions. Maybe it's just because I have a bias against Shimano, that very well may be, but from the research I did, and it was hard research too, because Shimano's very vague about what Infinity Drive is, which I think is kind of shady in the first place. But let's just go over all the things that I'm actually going to cover today in this video, why I think Shimano's overrated and overpriced, part 2. So we're going to go over Infinity Drive, we're going to go over Infinity Cross, we're going to go over the Hagani gears, and if you guys know anything about me, I hate those Hagani gears, and which they fall in line with the Infinity Cross. And then we're going to go over the Hagani frame. So let's just start with Infinity Drive. So what the Infinity Drive is a type of method of supporting your spool shaft. Now there's 3 different types of methods that you can use to support a spool shaft. The most expensive and most common and decent reels is going to be, you're going to have your anti-reverse bearing and multiple other bearings along with that pinion gear supporting your spool shaft, like this. This is a Shimano throttle. Here's the actual spool right here. This right here is supported by the pinion gear bearing right there, and then underneath the rotor is the anti-reverse bearing clutch system along with another bearing supporting it below that. So you have about like an inch and a half of support on that spool shaft. Here's the spool shaft right here. So what Shimano did was take this type of the spool shaft, make it thinner, and then they supported it, instead of with bearings, they supported it with a bushing. I don't know if it's just me, but you make something thinner, like smaller in diameter, and you put a bushing to support it, that's a cheaper option than bearings, and you make your spool shaft thinner, which is also cheaper to make. So you're making something that is cheaper, not as strong, and you're upselling us for that feature. I don't get it. And so let me just, again, I kind of getting ahead of myself. So you have 3 options: bearings supporting your spool shaft, bushing supporting your spool shaft, and then you don't have anything supporting it other than the rotor itself. Shimano is giving us the second and cheaper option, not the worst option, but a cheaper option, and they're charging us a minimum of $200 for that. I don't get it. I don't get why anyone's freaking out over this. Like, I am, like, honestly just shocked about them making a big deal about this, and everyone's making a big deal about it. I don't get it. So that's the Infinity Drive. Let's go over the next part, which is the Hagani gears / X Cross. So the X Cross is an improvement. Let me just show you how smooth this reel is. Amazing. And that's the other thing. They're talking, before I move on to X Cross, Shimano is talking about how amazingly smooth Infinity Drive makes the reel. And he even said at one point, oh, I just barely touch my reel and it spins 3 times. Well, as you just saw, this $56 combo This is an amazingly smooth reel. Like, I barely touch it and it just spins. That was 3 times it just spun. I mean, it barely. I pushed it harder there, obviously, but this thing is insanely smooth. And this was a $56 combo. Now, this combo is not widely available anymore. You can only find it online on Amazon and Walmart. But if you can find this Quantum Throttle 2, go out and buy it. It's an amazing combo. But they said how smooth the Infinity Drive makes that reel. Well, this reel, from the videos I have seen, this reel right here is just as smooth. Just as smooth. And we'll get into more features of this reel that makes this reel as good as that Shimano Stradic, and it's a $200 reel. Well, this was a $56 combo. Now it's $65. So again, in my last video, I kept asking the question, why would you waste the money? I'm gonna keep asking that same question here. So let's move on to now the Infinity Cross / Hagani gears. So the Hagani gears, as I went over before, is Shimano's aluminum gears. What they did with the Hagani aluminum gears is that they found a cheaper way to manufacture them. Do you hear a common theme here? They find something or a cheaper way to make something, and then they upcharge you for it. So the Hagani gears is cold forge pressed aluminum. So you have a mold, which if you are a fisherman, you know anything mold is not going to be as refined or good as laser cut or machined. So it's cold forged. So you have a hydraulic press pressing on aluminum into a mold. Well, what that does is that not only is it going to be not as precise and accurate, it's also going to be slightly weaker. The reason why aluminum, laser cut and machined aluminum are stronger is because you're not messing with the base aluminum. With cold forge, you're pressing it really hard and you're manipulating the aluminum. You're forcing it into a shape which weakens it. So that goes to my thing, as I say in every video, is zinc alloy gears are 2.5 times stronger than laser cut. And then I don't know exactly how much stronger they are than the Hagani cold forge gears, but if they're 2.5 times stronger than laser cut and laser cut stronger than Hagani, then these aluminum Hagani gears are not that strong. I would rather have zinc alloy, which is in this reel, and look how smooth this reel is. It's still spinning. It's an amazingly smooth reel. So that's the Hagani gears. And what Shimano did, I think they knew that people were having issues with those Hagani gears and they were wearing out after 3, maybe 4 seasons. Mine and my Sedona wore out after entering my 3rd season. So what they did was Infinity Cross. What Infinity Cross is Shimano increased the tooth within the main gears, the tooth size by, I think they said 25 or 30%. So it increases the surface area that the pinion gear is interacting with that main gear, so it distributes more of that pressure across that surface area. So it makes it a little bit smoother and a little bit stronger. Well, you sold us bad goods with the Hagani gears in the first place. Why are you now upcharging us a minimum of $200 to have your improvement to these weak Hagani gears? Those gears should be all the way down to the Sedona. Now the Sedona is $85 now. It used to be $60, but they increased the price by $25. So it should be all the way down to the Sedona because those gears wear out too quickly. You shouldn't reserve it for just your flagship reels. You need to bring those Cross or Infinity Cross gears across your entire Hagani gear line. It's not right that you're upcharging all that money for a bad bill of goods that you sold us in the first place. So that's Infinity Cross and Infinity Drive, Infinity Cross / the Hagani gears. Now let's go into the Hagani aluminum frame. Now the Hagani aluminum frame is actually not a bad frame. It's not as strong as this frame because look, this is a $56 reel or combo, and this is aluminum frame. This is an aluminum frame right here. It's got this nice little rubber shield to it too, so you don't bang it around as much. It protects that aluminum. And again, this is only $56. So that Hagani frame, you only get the Hagani frame when you get to the Stradic. You don't get it with the Noski, you don't get it with the Maryville, you don't get it with the Tugra, or however you pronounce it, the $160 Shimano spinning reel, you only get it at the Stradic. So you're telling me that I can get a aluminum frame reel for $56, now $65 combo, but with Quantum, but I have to go all the way up to $200, and this isn't cheap aluminum. This is a better aluminum. This is a laser cut frame. You have to go up to $200 just to get cold forged with Shimano. Why would you waste the money? And it's not just Quantum that's offering you good deals. They don't really sell this all that much anymore, but the Quantum has the Quantum Energy. That comes with aluminum, laser cut aluminum or machine aluminum frame. It has titanium bale wire, which Shimano doesn't offer. It has ceramic coated bearings. It has so many great features to it. It's only $100. It's $100 less than the Shimano Stradic. Lose, they have the Mach 2. That's an all aluminum frame. Same thing, ceramic coated bearings, really nice thick bale wire, one-piece bale wire to an oversized line roller. And that's another point too I'm gonna bring up. With Shimano, you don't get an oversized line roller until you get to the Stradic. Mind-blowing. Here, let me show you this right here real quick. This I've already done a review on. The Ozark Trail OTX 3000. This has an oversized line roller for $34. You don't get that until you get to the Stradic, $200. Why would you waste the money? I just don't get it. And look how smooth this reel is. This reel for $34 is amazingly smooth. It's not as smooth as my Quantum, but it's a really smooth reel. But you can get just as good as features as the Shimano Stradic for far less. And you're gonna hear some people say, well, aluminum frames, I'm not gonna use a spinning reel unless I have an aluminum frame. You don't need an aluminum frame. You just don't. Graphite is lighter. It's almost as strong. It's not almost as strong. But it's still strong. This is a very strong reel. I've never had any issues thinking that this was gonna break. This isn't gonna be like a bait caster. When it comes to bait casters, you have to have aluminum, in my opinion. Now, I'm not a big bait caster guy. I don't even own one anymore. I used to, but I ended up trading it. I'm not a bait caster fan. But you need an aluminum frame because of the way that those are designed. There's direct torque on the frame. And if you don't have a strong frame reel, those gears are going to get like out of alignment and screw those gears up. Spinning reels, you have a better drag over bait casters that are going to ease the tension from the frame. You have the stem that's going to ease the tension from the frame and those gears. So you don't really have to worry about it. It's a more giving design over the aluminum or over the bait casters. So I kind of got off on a side tangent there about bait casters versus spinning reels. But my point is that you can spend at least half as much money for the Shimano versus the Shimano Stradic. You can buy the Quantum Energy, the Lose Mach 2, the Lose Custom Pro. That's a $189 reel with an aluminum frame, all the very similar specs of the Mach 2. They just look different. Actually, like the look of the Custom Pro. And if you want to watch a really good review on the Custom Pro, I'll give another call out to Blue Collar, God, I always screw up his name, Blue Collar Outdoors and More. He has a really good review on that reel too, if you're curious. So that's all I really have today, guys. My final thoughts on this, and obviously I've already said it a bunch of times, please do not waste your money on Shimano. And I know people are gonna come out of the woodwork and just crap all over this video, call me a joke, I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's pretty hard to argue against the points that I just said right now about how you can get just as good of features for far less. What Shimano does is that they take these pretty basic features, give it a fancy name, and then sell you a lot of money for it. I just don't get why people are so obsessed over Shimano. Are they really smooth reels? Yes, they are really smooth reels. Do they last forever? Some do, some don't, depending on what the internals are. If they have the Ikani gears, nope, they're not gonna last you forever. If they have that zinc alloy gears, they're gonna last you a long time. But just I just want everyone to just realize that Shimano's selling a bad bill of goods to everybody, especially when it comes to their premium line. I would not want to spend that money. I keep thinking of new points. I apologize. I was just ending this video, and I don't make any edits to my videos. I just talk random, whatever random thoughts that go out in my head. So I almost forgot the last point. And that is, oh my God, I forgot it. I don't want to do this video all over again because I don't do edits. Whatever, I'm just gonna leave it at that. There's one last point, but I forgot it. And I don't feel like doing, what am I at? Almost 16 minutes now. I don't feel like trying to do this video all over again because I got a kid who's taking a nap, my 1-year-old who's taking a nap, and I do not want to do this video over again. So, real final thoughts. Do not buy Shimano. They are overpriced and overrated. That's all I have. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Sorry for anyone who spent a lot of money on Shimano and I just pooped all over their products. Sorry, Paul from Aggressively Average Anglers. Don't mean to be pooping all over your brand new Shimano Stradic, but I just want people to be informed. So I'll see you guys next time.